obviously been really short turnaround times. But what I think stood out was to say that we have grown together as a team during these three games, and they've all painted a little bit different story, but they learned us different things, and we've managed to learn things between the games. And today, I think it reminded you a little bit about the game against Houston, where we had a lot of the ball, and we played against an opponent that was quite passive, but also preferring to have a lot of players behind the ball. And I think we learned our lesson from the Houston game, where being that we attacked from minute one, we attacked with numbers, and I think we could have even attacked with more players in the first half, but we corrected that in the second half and we kept attacking. So I'm happy with that. So we're really can always going from those.
Yeah. Coach, what was the message at halftime that you think turned the tides and allowed you guys to convert a couple of times?
I think we did two things. We talked about committing more numbers forward, and we had a couple of good examples of how that looked like in the first half. We also knew that the intensity was going to be important. So some players I told here that you're not going to play a lot in the second half, so you can really go out and sort of make your mark in the beginning of the second half, because then we will have fresh legs coming on after, so we were able to sort of ramp up the intensity a little bit, and I think that was important for us.
I'd like to follow up.
Yeah, go for it.
Like, could you speak to the energy that your players on the bench are putting forward? I mean, Melanie found the back of the net. They've been huge for you guys, and I'd love to hear your perspective on it.
Yeah, I think we had a discussion here last night here on Wednesday, and spoke after the game, and we had a discussion about like how's the competition in the starting 11, and I had this longer rant then about that starting 11 is important, but so is the finishing 11, and having the roles here to come on. And I mean, you take Melanie Barcenas as an example. Her preseason has not really allowed her to sort of build up the minutes during the preseason. So, but we've come to a place with her where we says like the starting point of the season can be come in and help the team and be an impact for 20, 25, 30 minutes. And that's the role that you're playing here now. And I think she's done that ever so well. And this is really important to, sometimes you get these roles because it's what suits your qualities. Sometimes it might be at the moment a physical limitation that comes with that, but just both have an acceptance of that, but also making the most of that. It's important.
Gordon?
You changed your midfield lineup this game after coming off with one of your strongest performances in your midfield connection and possession. What did you either see in Chicago or internally that had you switch that up?
We had some didn't make sense to start Gia Corley of sort of her physical state that she was in. So that was the main reason, because I think Gia Corley played really, really well against Portland. But we are at a place where it doesn't make sense to start any player in our team if they're not able to give 100%. Like, then we will have players in the roster that are able to bring more to the team. That's what I think you saw today as well. So it wasn't anything tactically that we needed to change through the game. So it was just the availability of players and who had the freshest legs.
Sebastian?
They've got three consecutive games with a goal. What can you tell me about her goal scoring ability early on in her career?
It's obviously not bad, right? She's composed. She has good technique, which is important when you're trying to score goals. I think we saw in preseason she can score goals on a number of different ways. Now she's been scoring goals where she's been coming much closer to the goal, but we also know she has a really good long range shot. So that's probably something we're gonna see during the season as well. We're hitting one or two of those. So I think she's had a really good start to life as a pro and transitioning from a college player to being a professional player. But in her case, and I said this before, it comes from her having such a good preseason and why she has had a good preseason is because she has put all the details and all the work into it. So she has been able to absorb the training load. She has been able to been one of the players that has been accumulating the absolute most amount of training minutes together with the team, so that she's prepared comes to no surprise.
Jonas, I'm gonna ask you one right here, but you can keep looking at that. Can you just tell me how proud of this group you are after having such a crazy week, getting 9 points in those 6 days?
Yeah, I'm proud of that. And then because it requires a lot of work in being like this 24/7 pro when you're trying to turn around so quickly after the games, and we're all in this connected and we're trusting each other, and every single individual needs to do their part. And obviously as a group, we have been able to do that, and I think we as a group should be very proud of that, and it's really something to build on. And we put the foundation in being able to do it, but it's not as easy as it looks to refresh and recover so quickly. So yeah, very good work.
I'm gonna go Jenny right here.
I just had another question for you about Leah Godfrey. I noticed for this game compared to her positioning last game, especially in the first half of this game, she was more all over the front of the town. Last game, she stuck more to the right side. Can you explain to me the difference instructions to her and why you chose to have her feel around the front?
Yeah. No, she played a different position today. That's rightly seen. Today she played more as a 10 for us, which has a different area of where you need to go. And against Portland, she played more of a right winger. So yeah, and she can do both. But yeah, she played different positions.
What do you think she's better at?
I think she can do both. As I said, I think she's, again, I think position in itself, it never describes the whole story. It's everything what you ask the player to do in that position. Like, what are the strengths as a player? Or do you have a player that needs to run in behind, or needs a player that needs to be getting the ball to feet? Do you have a player that will dribble on her own, or does she need players around her for combination plays? So it's all about more that to see like what context we set her in. And for me, Leah Godfrey is a combination player. She's a combination player, but she's also an output player. We know we will get attacking plays from her. She plays wider, she will provide crosses with really good quality. If she plays more inside, she will have shots, she will have those like penetrative passes, and then it just becomes what we need and what we like for the day.
Mr. Sebastian, do you have one more?
Yes, big signing this week. What are your thoughts on adding Katarina Macario to your roster? How do you envision her fitting in their style?
It's very exciting. I've been a long-time fan of Kat, and we when I was at Arsenal, when we knew she was going to leave Lyon there, of course, she was a player I would have liked to have here at Arsenal. And now the world is funny, right? You missed that with one opportunity, but now it came another opportunity, and was able to make that happen. And I think Kat as a player, she's also a versatile player. If we're on that feed, she's one of the few players in world football that has the ability to both be a real threat in behind, but also being able to operate in front of a defending backline, which makes her so hard to defend as a player. And now our focus needs to be to provide absolute best platform and structure for Kat to be able to come back in both in as good way as possible, but also in a sustainable way as possible. So she can be really successful both here for San Diego and for the US Women's National Team.
When can we see her make her debut for the Wave?
I don't know at the moment. And this is important for us that we're taking good decisions. And now we just started to work together, and everything is progressing really well. But we keep our cards close to our chests and let people guess, and then you will see when she's ready.
We'll end it there. Thank you guys.